Imagine walking into your local grocery store only to find empty shelves where your everyday essentials used to be. With supply chain disruptions, inflation, and global events shaking up the market, certain grocery items are vanishing faster than you think. And as we approach March 15, 2025, some products are already in dangerously short supply. In this video, we'll reveal 10 surprising grocery items that are set to disappear before mid-March. Things you might not expect but will definitely miss. From pantry staples to household necessities, these shortages could catch you off guard if you're not prepared. But don't worry, we won't just warn you. We'll also share smart tips on how to stock up before it's too late. If you want to stay ahead of the game and keep your family prepared, stick around till the end. Let's dive into the list and see what's disappearing next. 1. Vanilla extract. The luxury ingredient you won't find soon. If you think vanilla extract is just another baking ingredient, think again. This kitchen staple is on the verge of becoming a luxury item, and it's disappearing faster than most people realize. If you've been to the store recently, you might have already noticed the shocking price increases. But what's even worse is that many stores are running out of stock altogether. By the time we hit mid-March 2025, vanilla extract could be almost impossible to find at a reasonable price, if you can find it at all. So, what's causing this crisis? It all starts in Madagascar, the world's largest producer of vanilla beans. This region has been battered by powerful cyclones, wiping out massive sections of vanilla orchids. Unlike many crops that can bounce back quickly, vanilla is delicate and takes years to grow, meaning that even a single bad season can cause devastating shortages for years. On top of that, climate change is interfering with the natural pollination process of vanilla flowers, making it even harder for farmers to produce enough beans to meet demand. But it doesn't stop there. The cost of labor in Madagascar has tripled in recent years, making the already expensive crop even pricier. Farmers and workers need to be paid more, and that cost is passed directly onto consumers. If that wasn't bad enough, a major warehouse fire in the U.S. wiped out a significant portion of the backup vanilla supply, making the situation even worse. The result? Prices have skyrocketed. A bottle of vanilla extract that once cost around $25 is now selling for as much as $85 in some stores. And because supply is so tight, many grocery chains have started limiting customers to one bottle per purchase, a clear sign that things are getting out of hand. If you use vanilla extract in your baking or cooking, now is the time to act. Stock up while you still can, because once shelves go empty, it could be months or even years before prices return to anything close to normal. If you're looking for alternatives, consider vanilla bean paste, which is more concentrated and can stretch further in recipes. Some people also swear by mixing maple syrup and bourbon to mimic the flavor. Either way, one thing is clear: vanilla extract is quickly becoming a rare and expensive commodity, and if you wait too long, you might find yourself completely out of luck. 2. Coffee. Say goodbye to your favorite morning fix. If you think mornings are rough now, just wait until coffee shelves start going empty. Coffee supplies are drying up fast, and by mid-March 2025, some of your favorite brands may be completely unavailable. If you rely on a daily cup to function, it's time to start paying attention. Because this shortage is no joke. The biggest problem? Brazil, the world's largest coffee producer, is in serious trouble. A brutal drought has devastated coffee farms, crippling production and making it nearly impossible to meet global demand. Coffee plants need consistent rainfall to thrive, and with extreme weather patterns becoming more common, the outlook isn't promising. But it's not just nature working against coffee lovers. It's also a massive industry-wide crisis. Labor shortages, supply chain disasters, and a lack of shipping containers have led to countless delays, leaving coffee bean shipments stuck at ports instead of reaching store shelves. Major brands are already feeling the impact. Lavazza's premium blends have seen a staggering 60% reduction in stock, while Peet's Coffee's popular Major Dickinson's blend is down by 40%. Even Starbucks Reserve is struggling to keep up with demand. As supplies dwindle, many stores have started enforcing purchase limits, restricting customers to just 2 bags per visit, a clear sign that trouble is ahead. And here's something most people don't realize. Even if you find coffee in stock, not all of it is fresh. With shipping delays piling up, many beans sit in storage for months before making it to store shelves. If you're serious about quality, check the roast date on the bag before buying. If it's more than a month old, you're already drinking stale coffee. The solution? Stock up now before prices skyrocket even further. If you're a coffee lover, consider buying in bulk, storing beans properly, or even switching to more available alternatives like locally roasted blends. The reality is that premium coffee is becoming a luxury item, and if this trend continues, your morning ritual might never be the same again. 3. Organic eggs, the next grocery item to vanish. If you think finding organic eggs is already difficult, brace yourself. It's about to get much worse. By mid-March 2025, organic eggs could become nearly impossible to find at a reasonable price. What used to be a grocery store staple is now turning into a luxury, with prices skyrocketing and supplies dwindling fast. The biggest problem? Extreme cold weather has hit organic egg farms hard. Hens simply don't lay as many eggs when temperatures drop, and the recent brutal winter has made production levels plummet. Unlike conventional egg farms that use climate-controlled environments, organic farms rely more on natural conditions, meaning they're far more vulnerable to weather fluctuations. With fewer eggs being produced, stores are struggling to keep shelves stocked, and when they do, prices are far higher than what most people are used to paying. But the crisis doesn't stop there. The cost of organic feed has exploded due to crop failures caused by the same extreme weather. Organic chickens require specialized feed made from non-GMO grains, and when those crops suffer, prices go up across the board. Farmers are now paying more than ever to keep their chickens fed, and that extra cost is being passed directly onto consumers. Some experts predict that a dozen organic eggs could soon cost as much as $8.99, making them one of the most expensive everyday grocery items. So what can you do? If you see organic eggs for under $6 per dozen, grab them while you can because those prices won't last much longer. If you want to stock up, consider freezing beaten eggs in ice cube trays so you have a backup supply when prices inevitably surge. And if you're looking for a slightly cheaper alternative, free-range eggs offer similar nutritional benefits without the extreme price tag. One thing is clear, the days of easily grabbing a carton of organic eggs from the store are coming to an end. If you don't prepare now, you might be stuck paying absurd prices, or worse, finding empty shelves when you need them most. 4. Hot sauce. The heat is fading fast. If you love adding a kick to your meals, you might want to stock up now, because hot sauce is disappearing fast. By mid-March 2025, some of your favorite brands could be completely wiped off store shelves, and those that remain will come at a much higher price. The problem isn't just limited supply, it's a full-blown production crisis. The biggest issue? A massive drop in chili pepper harvests. Mexico, a major supplier of the peppers used in popular hot sauces, has been hit with extreme heat waves that have severely impacted crops. Peppers need stable temperatures to thrive, but relentless heat and drought conditions have slashed production levels. With fewer peppers available, manufacturers simply can't keep up with demand, and ripple effects are being felt across the industry. But that's not the only issue. A severe glass bottle shortage is making production even worse. Many hot sauce brands rely on glass packaging, but supply chain disruptions have led to delays and shortages, forcing companies to cut production or ration inventory. This means even when hot sauce is available, stores might only be getting limited shipments, leaving shelves emptier than ever. Several major brands are already feeling the heat. Valentina is becoming harder to find, Tapatio has cut production, and Texas Pete is now restricting wholesale orders. Even Sriracha, which has already faced multiple shortages in recent years, is once again becoming scarce. If you're picky about your hot sauce, now is the time to grab a few extra bottles, because your go-to brand might not be there the next time you look. So, what's the solution? Check smaller grocery stores, Mexican markets, and Asian supermarkets. They often get different shipments and may have better availability and pricing than large chains. If you find a deal, don't hesitate to stock up because hot sauce prices are only going to climb. Bottom line, if you love heat, don't wait. Hot sauce is slipping away, and by the time most people realize it, their favorite brands will already be gone. 5. Frozen vegetables. Say goodbye to your easy meal solution. If you rely on frozen vegetables to save time in the kitchen, you'd better start stocking up now, because they're about to become a rare find. By mid-March 2025, frozen vegetable supplies will be dwindling fast, and prices will be through the roof. What was once an affordable, convenient grocery staple is now caught in a supply chain disaster, leaving shoppers with fewer options and much higher price tags. The biggest issue? Massive crop failures. Unpredictable weather, including frost damage and devastating floods, has wiped out huge portions of vegetable harvests. Farmers who rely on stable seasons to grow and freeze crops are now dealing with unpredictable swings that have thrown production into chaos. Without enough quality vegetables to freeze and package, supply is shrinking, and that means higher prices across the board. But that's not the only problem. Major frozen food processing plants are struggling with production delays due to equipment upgrades and staffing shortages. These facilities handle massive amounts of vegetables, processing and freezing them on a large scale to supply grocery stores. When production slows down or halts altogether, the effects trickle down fast. Store-brand frozen vegetables are already disappearing, and name brands like Green Giant and Birdseye have doubled their prices. If you've noticed fewer options in the freezer aisle, that's just the beginning. By March, some of your go-to frozen veggies may not be available at all. What can you do? Take matters into your own hands. If you find frozen vegetables, especially broccoli, cauliflower, or stir-fry mixes, grab a couple of bags while you can. But the smartest move? Buy fresh vegetables and freeze them yourself. It's cheaper and you'll have full control over your supply. Just wash, chop, and store them in airtight freezer bags to keep them fresh for months. This isn't just a temporary inconvenience. This is a full-blown shortage that will hit grocery store freezers hard. If you wait too long, you might find yourself staring at empty shelves, wondering why you didn't prepare while you had the chance. 6. Baby formula. The crisis isn't over. If you thought the baby formula shortage of recent years was over, think again. By March 2025, specialty baby formula will be harder to find than ever, leaving parents scrambling for alternatives. If your baby relies on a specific formula, you need to start preparing now, because waiting until shelves are empty is not an option. One of the biggest reasons behind this looming shortage? Abbott Nutrition is temporarily shutting down a major production facility for upgrades. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Abbott has already been at the center of multiple formula shortages in recent years. This time, it's not contamination causing the problem. It's an overhaul of production lines that will bring everything to a screeching halt. When one of the largest formula manufacturers goes offline, the entire market feels the impact, and the trickle-down effect will leave parents struggling to find supplies. But there's another major factor making things worse. The FDA is tightening import regulations on foreign baby formula brands, limiting supply even further. After the last formula crisis, the U.S. temporarily allowed more foreign brands to be sold in stores to ease shortages. Now, with stricter rules being reinstated, many of those options will disappear, putting even more strain on an already struggling market. The result? Fewer choices, higher prices, and even more frustration for parents. The formulas hit hardest by this crisis are the specialty ones. Similac Alimentum, a parent's choice sensitive formula. These are the formulas designed for babies with digestive issues, allergies, or other medical needs, and they're always the first to disappear when shortages hit. If your child relies on one of these, you cannot afford to wait until supplies run low. So what's the best strategy? Act now while you still have options. Check small independent pharmacies. They often receive shipments that big box retailers don't. Contact your pediatrician to see if they can provide samples or add you to a priority list for formula distribution. And remember, big box stores run out first, followed by grocery stores and then pharmacies. The longer you wait, the harder it will be to find what you need. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a growing crisis that will leave parents desperate for solutions. If you don't prepare now, you could be facing empty shelves when your baby needs formula the most. 7. Premium chocolate. Say goodbye to the good stuff. If you love high-quality chocolate, brace yourself. Premium chocolate is about to become both scarce and painfully expensive. By mid-March 2025, you'll either be paying a small fortune for your favorite chocolate bars or searching empty shelves wondering where they all went. The cause? A cocoa bean shortage that's shaking the industry to its core. West Africa, the world's largest cocoa-producing region, is struggling with severe worker shortages and unpredictable weather that have crippled cocoa harvests. Cocoa farmers are leaving the industry due to low wages and harsh working conditions, and the ones who remain can't keep up with demand. Fewer workers mean fewer harvested beans, which means fewer chocolate bars hitting the market. It's basic supply and demand, and right now, the balance is tipping in the wrong direction. The results? Major brands like Lindt and Godiva are quietly reducing production. Instead of announcing shortages outright, they're simply making less, keeping supply limited while pushing prices higher. If you've noticed your favorite high-end chocolate bars disappearing or becoming more expensive, that's why. And it's not just the fancy brands. Even companies like Hershey's and Mars are reformulating their products, using less cocoa to stretch out supply. That means lower quality chocolate with less of the rich, intense flavor you're used to. If you're a fan of dark chocolate, act fast. Anything above 60% cocoa is going to be the hardest to find, and once stock starts running low, stores won't be able to replenish it quickly. Buy premium chocolate bars while they're still available, because by March, you might not have the option. This isn't just about a temporary price hike. This is a long-term issue that's changing the chocolate industry. If you want to keep enjoying real, high-quality chocolate, stock up now. Otherwise, you might be stuck with overpriced, watered-down versions that don't taste anywhere near as good. 8. Greek yogurt. Your protein fix is in danger. Greek yogurt has been a go-to choice for health-conscious shoppers, but by March 2025, it's going to be a lot harder to find. If you're used to grabbing a tub of Chobani or Fagi without thinking twice, you might want to reconsider. Because Greek yogurt supplies are shrinking fast and prices are climbing. The problem? Dairy farmers are struggling, and so is the packaging industry. Rising feed costs for dairy cows have forced many farmers to cut back on production or even shut down operations altogether. Greek yogurt requires more milk than regular yogurt, making it even more expensive to produce. When dairy costs rise, Greek yogurt takes a bigger hit than other dairy products, and unfortunately that means higher prices and lower availability for shoppers. But that's not the only problem. Even if dairy farmers could keep up with demand, there's a major shortage of food-grade plastic containers, the ones used to package Greek yogurt. Without these containers, manufacturers simply can't get their products on store shelves. It's a logistics nightmare, and it's already hitting big brands hard. Chobani's plain and vanilla flavors are disappearing first, and Fage is scaling back production. If you're a Greek yogurt fan, you've got two choices: find alternatives or stock up now. Icelandic skyr is a good substitute. It has a similar texture and high protein content. Regular yogurt mixed with protein powder or cottage cheese can also give you the same nutritional benefits without the supply issues. But if you're loyal to your favorite brand, grab an extra container while you can, because soon your options might be gone. This isn't just a temporary problem. It's a warning sign that Greek yogurt might not be the reliable staple it once was. If you don't adjust now, you'll be paying the price, literally and figuratively, when it vanishes from store shelves. 9. Breakfast cereals. Say goodbye to your morning routine. If you think grabbing a box of your favorite cereal will always be easy, think again. Breakfast cereals are disappearing from store shelves, and the situation is only getting worse. By mid-March 2025, you might find yourself staring at empty shelves or being forced to choose from whatever is left. If there's anything left at all. The problem starts at the very foundation. Wheat, corn, and rice production is struggling. Wheat crops are down, cornfields are failing due to extreme weather, and rice supplies have been inconsistent. These are the key ingredients that go into making most cereals, and without them, production is slowing down across the board. That means fewer boxes getting stocked and higher prices on the ones that make it through. General Mills is facing tough decisions on which cereals to continue producing because they simply can't keep up with demand for all their products. Meanwhile, Kellogg's is dealing with worker shortages, outdated equipment, and serious supply chain issues that are keeping their production lines from running efficiently. When these two major cereal manufacturers are struggling, it spells disaster for the entire industry. Some of the hardest-hit brands include Frosted Flakes, family-sized boxes, Honey Bunches of Oats, Special K protein varieties, and organic options. If you or your family rely on these cereals for a quick and easy breakfast, you need to start thinking ahead. These products are already getting harder to find, and by the time March rolls around, they might be gone completely. If you have a favorite cereal, now is the time to stock up. Buy a few extra boxes while you still can, especially if you have kids who prefer a certain brand. Otherwise, you'll either be paying outrageous prices for the remaining stock or settling for whatever cheap, sugar-filled options are left behind. Cereal isn't just a convenience, it's a daily staple for millions of people. But if you don't act now, you could be starting your mornings with disappointment instead of your go-to bowl of crunch. 10. Fresh berries. Your favorite fruits are on the chopping block. If you love fresh berries, you might want to savor them while you still can. By mid-March 2025, berries will be scarce, expensive, and possibly out of reach for many shoppers. The perfect addition to smoothies, yogurt, and desserts is about to become a luxury item, and the reasons behind it are hitting all at once. The biggest problem? Weather disasters in key growing regions. California, which produces a massive share of the country's strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries, has been hit hard by unexpected frost events. These sudden temperature drops have devastated berry crops, killing off entire fields before they could reach harvest. Farmers can't replace them overnight, which means fewer berries are making it to grocery stores. Florida, another major berry producer, is facing its own set of challenges. Unusual weather patterns have disrupted growing cycles, reducing output across the board. This means fewer berries coming in from the East Coast as well, making shortages even worse nationwide. And even when berries do make it to harvest, getting them onto store shelves is a logistical nightmare. The trucking industry is dealing with rising fuel costs, stricter emission regulations, and supply chain delays. Transporting delicate fruit like berries is already expensive, but these new obstacles are driving up costs even more. That increase in price is being passed straight to consumers, and it's only going to get worse. If you've noticed that strawberry prices are climbing, you're not imagining things. Berries are becoming a high-cost item, and eventually, they might not be available at all. For those who rely on fresh fruit as part of their diet, this is a serious problem. So what can you do? Frozen berries are your best bet. While fresh berries are fading from stores, frozen options are still widely available, at least for now. They offer nearly the same nutritional value and work just as well in smoothies, baking, or even as a topping for yogurt and cereal, if you can still find it. Another option? Look for Chilean blueberries. South America is still producing blueberries in large quantities, and imported varieties might be easier to find than US-grown options. They won't be as cheap as they used to be, but they're better than nothing. The bottom line? If fresh berries are a part of your regular grocery list, prepare for disappointment. Prices are skyrocketing, availability is plummeting, and by mid-March you might be forced to find an alternative. This is not just a seasonal shortage. This is a wake-up call for what's coming.